Hello, everyone, and welcome to the United Stand. It is Faz. The wait has now finally been over. Thank you all for being patient. Unfortunately, Mark is not here today, but Mark is actually doing a show in Dublin, a live show in Dublin. So good luck to him. But I will be taking over the 8 p.m. show. 1 hour of pure Manchester United latest transfers. We'll be talking about Højlund, Rice. We'll be talking about Dean Henderson going to Nottingham Forest. So hopefully that deal comes through. Lots of transfer stock to talk about. Lots of other deals to talk about as well. Hope everybody is doing well and okay. Thank you all for all tuning in. Nice and early. Nice and early. Let's go straight into it. Let's not waste any time at all. Let's not waste any time. Declan Rice is the latest news, and Manchester United are heavily linked with Declan Rice. Arsenal at the moment are leading the race to sign Declan Rice, but Manchester United are heavily linked with him along with Mason Mount as well. We do want two midfielders, right, this summer window. Excuse me, Declan Rice, a good signing for Manchester United. I remember last summer, Declan Rice was quoted around 100 odd million to be signed to Manchester United, and at the time it was way too much money to ask for him. But now he's got 1 year left on his contract, and it could be a good price that we could seal Declan Rice. We need someone who can progress the ball. We need someone who's played in the Premier League. We need someone who has got that, Premier League proven quota on him. And who other better than Declan Rice? We also need to talk about Højlund as well. £40 million British pounds is what has been quoted to sign Holjund. So that will be something I'll get into as well. I see a lot of people a bit surprised that it's me, but it is me. It's Faz. Or maybe it's Mark with just a tan. Whichever way you want to look at it. Whichever way you want to look at it. A lot of people want to get in talks about Anthony and everything. We'll get into all of that stuff a bit later on. But let's just talk about Rice and Højlund at the moment. Look, Arsenal, they did fantastically well this season, right? And they need a midfielder. They've been flirting about trying to sign Declan Rice, and loads of reports have come out that they're leading the race. It'll be interesting to see how this summer pans out because, look, Arteta is going to want to add to his arsenal to go and push and see if they can push for the title next season. A lot of Arsenal fans, right, they think with the right players coming in, they could actually do over City and go and push for the title next season. But where does Manchester United come into this? Look, Declan Rice, £80 million, £90 million. I don't think it's too much to ask for, considering the type of player he is, considering the qualities he possesses, considering the type of player he can become in our Manchester United squad. A lot of people know my kind of preference is Moise Caicedo. A lot of people might think the same. Moise Caicedo would be a fantastic signing for Manchester United. Similar price range as well. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. I know that Fabrizio has said, don't count out Moise Caicedo just yet. Don't think Manchester United won't be flirting about in the summer to speak and try and maybe see if they can sign Moise Caicedo. But Declan Rice is someone that we're heavily linked with. And you know what? I'm not upset. I'll be honest. I am really not upset. Is it a better signing than Mason Mount? Yes, it is. Considering the budget that we will have, I don't know, 250, 300 million, could we get Mount and Rice? I don't think so. I think that'll be a bit too much going into our budget, considering we want to get a striker as well. The likes of Harry Kane or maybe Højlund as well. I don't know what's the situation going on. I'll talk about that in a bit. But I think Declan Rice, trying to beat Arsenal and get Declan Rice would be something that would be a good achievement for us in the summer. I really do. Last summer, I know everybody was 90% gang when it came to Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong is going to come. Frankie de Jong is going to come. But Frankie de Jong didn't come. It didn't happen. Would I like for us to talk about Frankie de Jong and etc.? Yes, I would. But we know he wants to stay in Barca and he's not going to be Manchester United player. So I'm not actually particularly unhappy about the Declan Rice rumors and etc. It would be really good. Look, he's a fantastic player for country. He's a fantastic player for his club, and he's a fantastic player in the Premier League as well. So why not? If you think the amount of money that Manchester United is being quoted to sign Mason Mount compared to the amount of money that we're being quoted for Declan Rice, it makes absolute perfect sense to go for Declan Rice. Get your comments in. Let me know what you guys think about this link about Declan Rice. We've got some super chats in early. Get your super chats in as well if you got any questions for me and etc. And I'll try and do my best to read all of the super chats as well. We've got a super chat here from Brandon. Brandon says, Faz, do you think our pull will be stronger than Arsenal since we actually won a trophy and secured Champions League football? This is a great question, actually, and it's a good way to tie into this because Manchester United, we did the 1-2-3. We won the Carabao Cup, we came second in the FA Cup, and we have come third in the Premier League. Champions League football secured under Ten Hag is actually very desirable for many, many players. Remember last summer when Ten Hag originally came in, we were like, look, we have to overpay to go and get players. We have to overpay to try and attract players whilst we're in Europa, etc., etc. But now we've secured Champions League football. And you know what? We haven't done bad this season at all. We've played every single game there is apart from the Europa semi-final and final, right? We've been to finals. We've won a trophy. And Ten Hag has shown that as a manager, he can improve players. Under his regime, players can improve. Wan-Bissaka's done that. Dalo's shown he can improve, slightly, even though he dipped in form after his injury. Rashford has improved so much. Luke Shaw's done well. Loads of players have done well under Ten Hag. So if you're the likes of Mason Mount, Declan Rice, the upper, Moise Caicedo, you'd be looking at Manchester United and thinking, you know what? I think I fancy myself going to Manchester United. I think Manchester United are going in the right direction. They're not necessarily overpaying on etc. We're not going to go down the paying overly on wages and etc. But it's a good organization to be in. Yes, the takeover is looming large, above all of us. We don't know what's going to happen with the takeover yet, hoping it's a full sale. But in due time, that'll get sorted. But nonetheless, under Ten Hag, I'm sure players can see how Manchester United have progressed so far. So it's a great question. I think we will be able to attract players. And I think Manchester United will be a desirable club for many, many players. The likes of Harry Kane, for example. I'm going to touch on that as well. I think Harry Kane will look into, scoring another 40, 50 goals and hoping to go past that record of Alan Shearer. So he would want to stay in Premier League as well. And what better club to go to Manchester United, right? We've got another super chat from Aaron. Thank you very much for your super chat. Aaron says, man like Faz, a run prime time now. Big up. Thank you very much, Aaron. I really, really appreciate you. A lot of comments saying Fazbridge. Thank you very much. Maybe that's my new nickname, Fazbridge. But yeah, Declan Rice to Manchester United. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? I mean, Mount or Rice? It's absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, clear vote for me. It has to be Rice, right? It has to be Declan Rice. What better ball carrier can you pick other than Declan Rice in the Premier League as well? Love the show already, man. Hope your day was great, says Illuminati Confirmed. Thank you very much. My day was great. I did the 4 p.m. show with the forum as well. We talked about our season as a whole. We talked about the transfers coming. We talked about player of the season and etc., which I'll touch on here as well. So yeah, my day was great and hope yours was too. Moving on. Declan Rice, 70, 80 million. Let's say, hopefully we can get that signed and then we can move on to Højlund. Look, Højlund, Manchester United fan. He's already interacting with some of the fans. I think he follows Mark Goldbridge as well. I think on Instagram or Twitter. He's clearly a player with a great ceiling. He's got a fantastic ceiling. I was a bit on the back foot with Højlund. I can't lie. With Rasmus Højlund, I wasn't 100% sure. And it's not because of his ability or his ceiling at all. It's the price tag. I was thinking, look, if Atalanta want around 60, 65 million, it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much for his age, for the rawness that it is. But I think 100% a player like that, with a manager like Erik ten Hag, and don't forget Benny McCarthy as well, our forward coach, our striker coach, someone who's done fantastic with Marcus Rashford, right? I think Højlund would be a good addition to us. I want to go down this route where we are buying players below the 50 million mark, and we can add value. We can develop them. 4 years down the line, 3 years down the line, they're not going down in value. And we've gone down this route before, buying big name players. And the odd big name player is great. Look, Declan Rice, I think, won't be a bad signing at all. I don't see Declan Rice going down the route where he doesn't work out in Manchester United. Firstly, because he's been in the Premier League. Secondly, because he's an absolutely fantastic player in the team that he's in as well. He outshines everyone, right? And his numbers and figures speak for themselves. If you look at, for example, Mason Mount, he's put 30 odd games all over, right, in all comps. And he's only had 3 goals and 6 assists. Whereas you look at Declan Rice, okay, his numbers aren't in the double digits for sure, but you see the output that he does. You see how he wins the ball back, he can progress the ball. And how much have we been crying for a player in the middle of the park that can walk and carry the ball? That has been my number one thing. We want to, Ten Hag has a specific style he wants to play. And I don't think Mason Mount would be that player. I don't think Mason Mount would be that player, that ball carrying player that we particularly need. A couple of more super chats. Let me just go through them quickly. Let's see. Saga says, why nobody talk about Olise from Palace? I don't think Palace would want to let go of Olise. Fantastic player. Really do like him. But I don't think Palace would be in a position to let him go. I don't think so just yet. And I haven't heard or read anything about Olise being linked to any clubs, to be honest. So yeah. LJ, big up LJ with a super. Says ETH first season was underrated. Not enough fans speak facts about our manager as you. Looking forward to see what Ten Hag can do with the team next season. Thank you very much, LJ, for the super chat as well. Look, I think you make a very good point. I was very much concerned about the FA Cup final, and just quickly touching on it. I thought FA Cup final, Man City, and we are losing players to play on that game. We didn't have Martial. We didn't have Anthony. Two of Ten Hag's first choice. Even Lisandro Martinez, probably our best player this season, right? Bar Casemiro, whoever you want to put in there. I thought we were absolutely going to get thrashed. But I tell you what, Erik Ten Hag, with the personnel that he has had, with the issues that he has had to deal with the board, with the ownership situation, there is absolutely no question in any world that Erik Ten Hag has done a fantastic job. You can't. The man has come third with Wout Weghorst in his squad, with bringing in loan players, letting Ronaldo go, dealing with that issue, having Sancho, shipping him off for a few months and then getting right and then coming back. He's had loads to deal with, and he's done a fantastic job. So I really do hope that Manchester United board can go and get the right players at the right price for Erik Ten Hag and go and attack next season, because it's all about going forward. How can we go from third to second? How can we win the Carabao Cup again? How can we make sure we get into a Champions League semi-final? That would be a great achievement. These are the things I'm looking at. And I think Declan Rice could be that player. Look, Declan Rice has done well in Europe as well. In this season, he's done a fantastic run in Europe. So you can't take these things away from Declan Rice. Whereas, look, Mason Mount, he's not had the best of the season, right? Mason Mount, on top of that, young, sure, has winning pedigree, has won great achievement with Chelsea. He's a Chelsea fan and etc. That doesn't faze me, right? That doesn't bother me. I'm sure it doesn't bother you as well. If he comes in Manchester United, does well, he does well. But I think there's just a more overall player in Declan Rice. I think with Declan Rice, it's like the missing puzzle. I was hell-bent on Frankie de Jong. I can't lie. I was so adamant that we should go back for Frankie de Jong. But there's been any talks about Frankie de Jong. There's been no links. Everything in Barcelona is for sale, right? You can go and get your wedding done in Camp Nou if you want it. But I don't think Frankie de Jong wants to leave Barcelona and come to Manchester United. We tried last summer, and it didn't work. So yeah, that's what it is. Moving on to the Højlund topic, right? Oh, quick super chat here. Let me just address this quick super chat. Thank you very much for all your super chats already. Sule says Rice can play centre back, right back, CDM, CM. Atik Caicedo also. City winning the treble has overshadowed our season, but ETH has cooked. Look, firstly, City have not won the treble just yet. That's the first point. They still have to go and play the Champions League final. And look, it's a Champions League final stage. Anything can happen. Manchester United, with 3 key, crucial missing players, gave them a very good game. This is something that we must not forget. We gave Manchester City a better game than Real Madrid. We gave Manchester City a better game than Arsenal. So nobody can take that away from us. I know we lost. The result at the end of the day, it's a loss. But it wasn't far at all. When Garnacho came on, they were scared. You could tell we were creating chances. I think on a different day with a fully fit Manchester United, I think we could have had them. I really do. I really strongly believe that. A lot of people saying no to Mount. Some people agreeing with the Declan Rice as well. Elias says, great to see you. Got your own show, Faz. You're doing great. Thank you very much, Elias. I really appreciate you. Big up to the United stand for giving me the opportunity as well. Let's touch on the Højlund news. Look, Rasmus Højlund has had a good season so far with his club. And you know what? His numbers speak for itself. You can't take that away for a player that's 20 years old. I think overall, he's had over how many goals? Is it 30 goals he's had? And 14 assists. I was thinking of the assists. He's at 32 goals and 14 assists. It's not a joke. It isn't. We want to be nourishing and nurturing players to become top-class players. At £40 million, I think it's a good deal. I really do. A little bit weighs on as to our outgoings as well. You know, look, if you look at Declan Rice or Mount, similar price tag, right? You look at Højlund, takes you well above the 100 million mark. How much do we spend on a centre back? And do we have money left over for a goalkeeper? Because I know a lot of people want a new goalkeeper, myself included. I do think we need a new goalkeeper. I'm not going to go back on it now. I've gone back and forth all through the season, but I'm not going back on it now. But my thing with Rasmus Højlund is, can he become the number one striker? Is my question. I don't think Daniel Levy is going to let Harry Kane go to Manchester United for anything less than 100 million. It's just impossible. Daniel Levy drives the hardest bargain ever. Imagine trying to buy something from Daniel Levy. It's impossible, especially if you're a Man United fan or linked with Man United. To think you want to buy the number one player in a season where he's already scored 30 goals this season. He's just, numerous golden boots, personal accolade, chasing that Premier League top scorer record. I think it would be a good business to go and get Harry Kane and Højlund. I've mentioned Marcus Thuram before, who's free, right? That would be a good addition. I don't see why not. 25 years old, free transfer. Bring him in, have him in the squad. He can be an addition. But I would be more comfortable if we were more linked with Harry Kane and then move on to the Højlund news. I have nothing against Højlund. I promise you, I haven't. Looking at Højlund this season, he can play off the left, he can play off the right. He's blisteringly fast. His left foot is really good. It's not the best left foot in the world, but that's okay. You can develop that. There's a player to be nurtured and molded into a Ten Hag player for sure. And he plays one central striker position and he's very fluid. The way he plays, he comes in deep. He can beat a player as well. He can move on with his left foot, right foot. He's got good passes, good assists as well. But the Premier League and Manchester United come with a different sort of pressure. We all know this. We've seen this year in, year out. We've seen the season in, season out. I just want to make sure we get this signing really right. I do. I think it's important to understand we haven't had a decent striker in a while, right? And we need a top-class striker. I think a top-class striker could have been our difference between challenging for a bit longer than 1 or 2 weeks. I think you all will agree with that. We could have easily pushed on to the Europa League. We could have easily given Man City a harder game at the final, and we could have easily won a couple of games that we drew or lost in the Premier League if we had a top-class striker. So I know a lot of fans, a lot of you guys are heavily onto Rasmus Højlund, and I can see why. I do understand. But there's other talents as well, and I think it's important to go and establish your biggest signing. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Harry Kane, I don't think Man United are in a position to go and pay 120, 30 million for Victor Osimhen. I don't think so. I think Harry Kane would be the likely option. But look, Harry Kane is now linked with Real Madrid. Real Madrid have let go of Karim Benzema. And Ancelotti and Real Madrid will be sitting there thinking, who is that player that can come into Real Madrid and make sure we can win another Champions League? Because they're all about Champions League. They also missed out on their La Liga as well. And I'm sure Real Madrid and Ancelotti will not be happy. They've let go of a few players, actually, Hazard as well. I think Asensio as well. Harry Kane to Real Madrid sounds very, very likely. But here's the twist. Harry Kane, I think, would want to stay in Premier League. Now, firstly, because he's done exceptionally well in a very, very bad Tottenham Hotspur squad over so many years. Year in, year out, year in, year out, he scored so many goals in that squad. It's actually unreal how he does it. When you're really deep, how good of a player Harry Kane is. And this thing about his age, look, I've been against it. I'll be honest. I'm going to tell you guys right now. At one point, I was like, should we be going and looking at a striker that's 30 odd years old, 30 going into 30 years old? Should we not be looking at someone who's 25, 26, someone who we can develop alongside them as well? But can Harry Kane be an instant impact for us? Yes. There's absolutely no doubt. Harry Kane, couple of midfielders, a good centre back, you're cooking. And you're cooking some good food. I promise you. Which team will not want to take Harry Kane? Okay, a couple of people say retirement FC. Some people have concerns about injury prone, etc. You don't score the amount of goals he scores if you're injury prone. You don't. Someone like Martial does. He scores an odd goal here and there. I think he scored like 9 goals in a couple of years or 10 goals in a couple of years. But Harry Kane, season in, season out, the man is putting up numbers on the board. And you know that's what we need. We've lacked it. We haven't had this for absolute decades. This particular season, in a season where player like Erling Haaland is lighting up the Premier League, Harry Kane has gone and put 30 goals in the Premier League. 30 goals in the Premier League in a season where his partner Heung-min Son wasn't having the best season as well. Kulusevski wasn't having the best season as well. But he's done it. 30 goals somehow. He's got a couple of assists in there as well. Harry Kane would be the player. Imagine Bruno Fernandes, who's our highest chance creator, creates the most chances as well, trying to slip the ball through to Harry Kane. One of the concerns people have is, can Rashford play central and we can get another winger and etc. I really don't see that happening. I don't see Marcus Rashford playing a number 9 role. Marcus Rashford is a fantastic player. No denying that. But is Marcus Rashford the clinical, out and out, hungry, lion-like central striker? No, he's not. And if you want to go and compete at the highest level in Champions League, ladies and gentlemen, next season, in Premier League, because my mentality is I've come third this season. How do I get to second? How can I make sure it's not 2-1 against Man City? It's 3-2. And to do that, you need a top-class striker. You must need a top-class striker. Victor Osimhen is absolutely not a bad shout at all. Not a bad shout. But two concerns. Concern 1, price tag. Concern 2, it's not Premier League proven. There's a couple more super chats. Let me go through them quickly. Thank you very much, everybody, for the super chats as well. CGI Future says, do you think we could hijack Rice from Arsenal? Listen, CGI Future, Arsenal have no pull. Do you remember when Arsenal wanted Mudryk and they were hell-bent on Mudryk? Mudryk this, I love you, Mudryk. And look what happened. Arsenal cannot get players. They wanted João Felix. They couldn't even get João Felix. Arsenal cannot. We have a way better pull than Arsenal. Absolutely. No, without a shadow of a doubt. They made Mudryk shirts, they Mudryk graphics. They had João Felix graphics. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And Chelsea came, put the money and did it. So please, I don't want to hear all this Arsenal pull. What pull is it, by the way? What pull? You tell me in the comment section, do you see Arsenal doing well in the Champions League? Arsenal do not have European heritage. They don't. They don't have European pull because they don't do good in Europe. It's plain and simple. They don't have no heritage when it comes to Europe. So what pull is it other than coming first in the Premier League for 90 odd percent of the season. Like, let's be honest here, right? Let's be honest. Super chat from Robin as well. Thank you very much, Robin. And to everyone with the super chat, says Højlund plus Felix, loan to buy, Kane out of price range. I understand the Højlund and Felix thing. Look, I fancy João Felix. What a fantastic player he can become. He's still so young, so young, and a player that I think in Manchester United under Ten Hag, wow, we need players that are good on the ball. This is key in Ten Hag's system. Possession-based football. We want to be suffocating the opposition in their half. We want to be playing a high line. We want to be playing with players that can beat one or two players, that can soak up pressure and then still find an acute pass to a forward. Anthony Martial is a prime example, for example. You know, number 9, a player who plays number 9, player who plays on the left, but in a 1v2 situation, he does fantastically well. João Felix is the same. How quickly does he carry the ball through midfield? And he's done that in a Atletico Madrid team, right? So Felix is a very good shout. Kane out of price range, though, I don't particularly agree. For a striker, £100 million in this market isn't out of price range. Any team would be expected to pay that because the striker market is a bit dry. There's Vlahovic, there's Gonçalo Ramos, who's still very young. There's Osimhen, there's Rasmus Højlund, and there's a couple of other strikers floating about. Lautaro Martinez is in there, but in the top of the top, right, the players that are performing, they are going to be in high demand. The likes of Real Madrid, the likes of Bayern Munich, if they start calling your name, it gets tough. It really does, to try and attract those players. And I think it's important to be able to pay out and secure your biggest asset, because your number 9 will be getting you the most goals. That's how it should be anyways, right? Your striker is the one that can get you the goals, and that's where you're going to pay the most money. It's the best player on the pitch almost, right? That's who you want to feed. And Man City have done a fantastic job in terms of buying Haaland for the price that they've bought it, and then added Julian Alvarez as well, who's been a fantastic addition for them. And if you want to compete with them, you need another top-class striker. Arsenal with Jesus and Nketiah, they suffered a little bit, you know, with the Nketiah tried to carry them a little bit, but it didn't work out. You need a top world-level striker, and that's why Benzema stayed in Real Madrid for so long. That's why Daniel Levy is going to be so stingy trying to let Harry Kane go. Top class striker, it's hard to come by, and you need to pay up the price. You do. Big up Marco. Big up Marco says Enzo Leafy is a must for United. No idea why we aren't in for him. Interesting. Enzo Leafy, top player, really good player, great potential, still very young. Again, so much abundance in terms of qualities that can be added, in terms of improvements that can be made. But I think Erik ten Hag, look, you need to be winning. You need to be going and securing the big names. And I think the way he does that is the likes of Declan Rice, right? Big up to Ross for the contribution as well. Thank you very much. I don't know if you had a chat in there, but it's just a contribution. Thank you very much. Big up to Julio, says we need 2 strikers. Kane is a must, and Højlund for next season. If we don't get Højlund, an alternative developing striker could be Santiago Jimenez. So that's another shout as well for a young striker that we could. I think Kane is a must. Look, your biggest purchase of the season, your number 1 priority, all of our number 1, but yours and mine, number 1 priority is a striker. Go and get the striker done. Go and get it, like iron it out so we know who our number 9 is. Martinez is our centre-back. Casemiro is our CDM. Bruno's going to be our midfielder. Who's our number 9? Who's that solid 1 player? Game in, game out, 2 games a week, 3 games a week, Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League. Who can be that number 9 that can get 30 plus goals? Minimum 25 goals in a season. Can Højlund do that? No. I personally don't think so. I'd love to be proven wrong, but he's too young. I don't think he can do that. He's going to be a development project. You want Harry Kane, Premier League. He's toasted defenders before. He's had top games before. He can turn up for us, and I think that's the player you want to go and get, unless you want to go and blow out the bank for Victor Osimhen. Big up Arturo, says no matter the striker we sign, need him by the toe. This is very important. This is a very good. We have signed a couple of players last summer that came a bit after the preseason tour. I'm not a big fan of that. I'll be honest. I'm not. Mr. Murto and Arnold, they were backpacking through Europe, sipping on sangarias and I don't know, martinis or whatever, trying to secure the Frankie de Jong deal. Had to overpay for Martinez, had to overpay for Anthony. Certain deals we couldn't get done. Went to see Rabiot and his mom to secure that deal. Didn't happen. I don't want to see this overpaying situation. We need to be savvy. Why can we not be savvy? Some people say it's not our money, etc. But it doesn't matter, you know. It's still important to go and get deals done quick. Liverpool, McAllister, no problem. 40 million on the table. Here we go, confirmed. Why are we not doing that? Liverpool in their worst season are going and getting a World Cup winning, fantastic season having midfielder. And I know dealing with Tottenham and Daniel Levy is a hard job. It's probably the hardest job anybody could ask for if you're in Man United. But we need to be making some progress. Just like we've had loads of progress with the Mountain deal. You know, it's in advanced, personal terms agreed, etc., etc. We need to be securing our striker. We really, really do. Big up Ross. Oh, Ross has come back with the super chat. Says, I'd rather get Højlund plus Rice than Mount plus Kane. Interesting. That is an interesting one. Højlund plus Rice than Mount, rather than Mount and Kane. Oh, you've got me there. I can't lie, Ross. You have got me there. Big up Stephen says, first show I've seen with you, mate. Good job. Thank you very much, Stephen. Really appreciate you for the kind comment. Thank you very, very much. Henry says, Faz, what would a realistic summer be for you? Oh, mate. Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen. So one of the two. Kim Min-jae. Kim Min-jae is a must because there's a release clause in there. Go and trigger the release clause. Get that done. I'm gonna go off the links that we have, not the players that I want, right? Because that'll go on a different tangent. I think Declan Rice. Now, I think easy to beat Arsenal in the race. I really do. You might think I'm delusional. Some people might not agree with me, but I actually think Manchester United have a better pull, and we're building something bigger, really, really bigger than Arsenal. We've been in 2 finals. Arsenal haven't. The Sevilla game, we messed up. David De Gea, Ten Hag first leg, substitutions, etc., whatever. But we have done better than Arsenal. And I think we could pull Declan Rice off Arsenal's hands. So what have I said? Harry Kane, Kim Min-jae, Declan Rice. Højlund would be good if you add him in there. I think we can squeeze him in there. And then a goalkeeper. I really do think it is time to buy a goalkeeper. There's a couple of rumors about David De Gea and Saudi Arabia, but I don't know how reliable that is. So yeah, that would be a realistic summer. Big up Dino says, thank you. Says, love your opinions and outlook on United. Faz, keep it going. Thank you very much, Dino. Appreciate the kind comment. Darren, thank you very much for your contribution. Says, what you think of Vlahovic as a striker for us? Young player. Really good striker in terms of physicality. He's tall, strong. It's one of the reasons why I really like Gonçalo Ramos as well. Fantastic left foot. But I think he would need someone to feed off. A creative number 10, someone that can constantly feed him the football, and also crossing. Listen, I can't emphasize to you enough. Strikers, you can pick up numerous goals from aerial balls, and it's important we cross the ball. Vlahovic isn't a bad shout, but we're not heavily linked with him. Not really any reports or rumors or anything as such with Vlahovic. Juventus is in a crisis as it is, so it would be a good time to go and nick some of their players. And I wouldn't mind if we were linked with Vlahovic, but I think Harry Kane is still a better player at the moment, anyways, than Vlahovic. Look, Vlahovic is still young. 2 years' time, a lot can happen. In 2 years' time, I think it would be goodbye time for Harry Kane if he came to. Let's say he comes to Manchester United this summer, right? I think in 2 seasons' time, it would be time to look for another striker, and Vlahovic could be that player then. Still loads of years to go for him. Loads of years to go for Gonçalo Ramos. Still good time to go for Victor Osimhen. I think Osimhen will be, 27, 28 by then. So, yeah, I think Harry Kane would still be my number one priority. But Victor Vlahovic isn't a bad shout. But I still want that killer striker, that ruthless killer, 30 plus a season striker, golden boot-esque striker. That's what I want. And that's Harry Kane. LJ says, don't forget to smash that like button for Faz smashing this show. We can discuss all transfers, but all I need to see is quick and efficient transfers. Good point. Thank you very much for the kind comment as well. Good point there with the efficient and quick transfers. Transfers, when it comes to Manchester United, right, it always goes past. I don't know why the preseason tour. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't understand why we can't secure the main kind of 2 or 3 signings before the tour. Bring them on tour. Take them with you. Try out your tactics. You're facing some top teams in tour as well across the globe. Go and test out your players. Go and see if these players can play the style of football and what you need to add, what you need to subtract, these type of things. That's important. And look, if you're not quick, right, as you said, LJ, if you're not quick, you're going to overpay. Teams are not going to be waiting. There's going to be other teams knocking on the door. There's going to be other teams picking up the phone. There's going to be other teams letting players go. Similar situation with Ajax when they let Gravenberg go, and now we're looking at Anthony, we're looking at Martinez, etc. They let a couple of players go. That's what it is. Look how quick Bayern did the Gravenberg deal last season. Boom, quick, in and out. Price tag done here. Thank you very much. See you later. Gravenberg is a Bayern Munich player. Why can't we do the same? I think that's what's important. The takeover stuff doesn't help, for sure. It doesn't. And it's always some in the summer. We have some sort of situation going on. The outgoings doesn't help. I want to get this Dean Henderson deal wrapped up quick. So we'll see. But I kind of have a feeling, and I might be wrong, and I hope I'm not wrong, but I think Manchester United will do some savvy, quick business. The way the Mount conversation has progressed so quick, and now we're talking to Højlund. Højlund is also signed to the same agency as Ten Hag. Hopefully that helps to get the deal done quicker. I don't know how much that's going to help, but I want to see some players quick before preseason. That's very, very key. Just go into the market, get your players, get out. Don't fiddle about in the market. We're always trying to knock on the shop window 5 minutes before they close. I don't like it. Big up PK with the super chat says, what would be your dream and realistic transfer window? I think I've answered that already. But if you ask for dream, I mean, I know a lot of people might not like it, but I wouldn't mind Neymar and I wouldn't mind João Felix. But I know a lot of people would not like those takes. Let's move on. And let's talk about, Tottenham Hotspur interested in Harry Maguire. Dean Henderson also in advanced talks with Forest at the moment. I would love to get that Dean Henderson deal done quick. £30 million is being quoted. It's the asking price. I think that would be a fantastic bit of money that we could use. On top of that, any club that is interested in Harry Maguire, I have a special place in my heart for you. I really do. If we can, I know it's Harry for Harry. Let's say one Harry goes, one Harry comes, night and day. But I'd absolutely love Harry Maguire to go and do a knee slide elsewhere. I would. No hard feelings at all. He can go to Spurs. He could go to West Ham. He could go to Chelsea, do a knee slide there. No problem at all. But how much can we get for Harry Maguire is the realistic question. And the decision is almost coming down to Harry Maguire. Is he going to be happy to be a bench player? Is he going to be happy for competing? His England spot is in the question as well on top of it, right? I think for me, it doesn't matter what Harry Maguire wants at the moment. Harry Maguire is contracted to Manchester United. Ten Hag is the one calling the shots. It should come down to Ten Hag and tell the player straight, I don't see you as part of my plans, or I do, whichever it is. I see you as part of my plans as a bench player or a starting player, so you're going to stay. I don't see you as a bench player, you're going to leave. That's as simple as that. And I think Manchester United, the way the direction that we want to go in, I don't think Harry Maguire has any place in Manchester United, not even as a bench player. Because if we go and get Kim Min Jae, there's gonna be Kim Min Jae, Varane, Martinez, maybe Lindelof as well. I would keep Lindelof. So where would Harry Maguire fit into all of this? Ten Hag had told Eric Bailly, I would like you to stay. Eric Bailly says, I want to go on loan, I want minutes, and off he went. I think Eric Ten Hag would probably tell Harry Maguire that, look, you need to compete. You need to compete for your position. And I don't know if Harry Maguire is willing to do that. Happy for him to go somewhere else and take his career to the next step in Spurs. And I don't know, Spurs with a new manager, not Spurs, are they going to want to take on a 40-50 million pound for Harry Maguire? How much do you think we could get for Harry Maguire? Like, bias aside and negativity aside, how much do you think Harry Maguire? Because if you look at 30 million for Dean Henderson, could we get 40 million for Harry Maguire? Do you think it's possible? 40 to 50 million for Harry Maguire? Because I'm telling you, 40 to 50 million for Harry Maguire. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll take that all day long. And then obviously you add the Brandon Williams, Axel, Telles, Bailly. Fred is in question as well. Is he going to stay, etc.? I've seen a few comments, someone saying Sancho as well. I'm not sure if Sancho's up for sale. But I think the key players would be Dean Henderson, Harry Maguire, Brandon Williams, Axel. These players, trying to sell them. Some people want to keep McTominay. Some people want to get rid of McTominay. But I think 40 to 50 million is the price that would be right for Harry Maguire. Look, for England, he's fantastic. He's good at England. Nobody can take that away from him. He's had good games for his international, when he's played at international competitions. He's had decent games. You can't take that away from him, right? Harry Maguire, he was okay in Leicester. Manchester United didn't work out and it went horribly wrong. It's okay. 40 million cash in, and there'll be 70 million in the bank from Dean Henderson and Harry Maguire. And I think there's 100 million to be made from sales this season. Easily. I don't see why not. I know a lot of people are saying, 15, 20 million, but let's be honest here. I think it's possible. Couple of player of the month as well. But before that, I'll just come into Fabrizio. Everybody's telling me about the Fabrizio tweet as well. Fabrizio has said Nottingham Forest are in advanced talks to sign Dean Henderson on a permanent deal. Terms are almost agreed. Also, on the player side, Man United are not intention to give final green light until David De Gea signs a new deal. So everything looks like it's going well, but just waiting on this David De Gea situation. What's going to happen with the David De Gea new contract? I'm guessing David De Gea is going to get a new contract. I have a feeling. 2 finals, clean sheet galore, Golden Glove. You can't take that away from him. Listen, you can't. Carabao Cup winner, FA Cup runners-up medal. And on top of that, Golden Glove in the hardest league in the world. No way can you take that away from him. He's competing against Alisson, against Edison, against Emi Martinez, mate, and he's kept a Golden Glove. Not even number 2. He's kept the Golden Glove. Like, he's got the Golden Glove. You can't, I don't care what you say, you can't take that away from him. You can't. It's just what it is. It's in history. David De Gea this season won the Golden Glove. Simple. Whether you like it or not. So I can't see Man United giving him a contract. I really do. And if I was David De Gea or David De Gea's representative, my players just won you a Carabao Cup. He's come runners-up in FA Cup, and he's won the Golden Glove. Let's be honest. I want a new keeper. Don't get that wrong. Don't, please. You guys can get things twisted really quickly. It's okay. I do want a new keeper. But it can be a technical situation with David De Gea, and he's willing to decrease his wage. Do not forget, he is okay to decrease his wage. So, yeah. Romano also says, exclusive, Donny van der Beek will explore options on the market in the next weeks as he could leave Manchester United. Donny loves the club and Ten Hag, but he needs and wants to play regularly next season. So it'll be interesting to see what would happen with Donny van der Beek. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Do you think Donny should stay or Donny should leave? Look, when Ten Hag came into Manchester United, a lot of people, a lot of fans, were hell-bent that Donny van der Beek would be that player for Eric Ten Hag, you know. It's come up through Eric Ten Hag's ranks. Eric Ten Hag knows the player, loves the player, etc., etc. But you know, Donny van der Beek didn't see minutes even when he was not injured. This is just true. Donny van der Beek, he wasn't getting all that minutes, and he got a couple of minutes here, came out. A couple of minutes there, came out. You know, this is honestly, it's just there. Love Donny van der Beek, you know, fantastic guy, but I have to be straight up and honest here. Can Donny van der Beek be a Manchester United player going forward? And listen, we need to be ruthless if we want to go to the next level. Sentiment FC is not always going to be you know, correct for the club. And Donny van der Beek, I think it's unfortunate with that injury. It really, really is. You know, he was really emotional on that day. But I think it'd be okay to sell him. I really do, and I think he deserves to go somewhere and play some decent minutes and have a good career. I don't think he would be that player for Manchester United. On top of that, right? Okay, put it this way: it's always good to get perspective. You're looking at Declan Rice, maybe another midfielder as well. You've got Bruno in there. You've got Casemiro in there. I'm not going to say Sabitzer yet because he was alone, so not sure what's going to happen. Maybe Manchester United might weigh up an option to go and, you know, pay the 30-40 million for him. You have Scott McTominay. Don't know what's going to happen to Fred. Maybe he leaves. He's going to reassess with his staff and everything to see his career. There's a lot of players in there in the midfield. And then you put Donny in the mix as well. Donny is not looking to be a development player. Ladies, like, I hate to break it to you, he wants to play regular minutes, and he's not going to get regular minutes in Manchester United. So I think it's fair for him to be looking at his options and going somewhere and playing decent minutes. It's okay. Look, it's okay. Let's not be sentimental here. A couple of more super chats. Let me go through them. Let's see. Edward, thank you very much for your super chat. Says we need the transfers, but first the Glazers out as always, 100% full sale only. You know, that's what I would like. A lot of you would like that too, but the takeover stuff is at the moment it's gone quiet because there's due diligence being done in the background. Anonymous says great show, Faz. Need to be hosting more regularly. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for the kind comments and everyone else as well. Thank you. Yasser says assalamu alaikum, Faz. Good show. Thank you very much, Yasser, for the comment and the kind words as well. Melo says Lisandro Martinez or Louis or Penda, similar, and Caicedo as well. I don't know. Oh, I think you mean Lautaro Martinez. I read Lisandro Martinez. I think you mean Lautaro Martinez, Opena, or Caicedo as your options. Javier says Edson Alvarez from Ajax could be a good Casemiro backup. Don't shy away from a challenge, wins balls back, and he also worked with ETH. Big up fast. Edson Alvarez is a great shout. Fantastic shout. You know, good, really good player. But I think Gravenberch is a good player as well. Listen, what's going on with Gravenberch's situation? This season, Gravenberch hasn't had a good season in Bayern. He's not been happy. At times, there's been reports that have come out that Gravenberch isn't happy, but Bayern have said he's going to stay, etc. I don't know. The Society says, you know, I'm not great at speculation when it comes to footy, but would Mount, Rice, and Maguire be an interesting? Maguire be an interesting rotation on the up fast. Thank you very much. I don't see Mount and Rice being in Manchester United together. It's one or the other, simply because of the price tag that's being quoted. 150 million for these two midfielders, and then you want to get a striker. You want to get a centre back in there. Maybe squeeze a goalkeeper. Maybe squeeze another striker. Two together, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. It would be too much, way too much on two midfielders. Darren says Maguire and Van der Beek for Lane plus Donny be good for Spurs or Arsenal. I think Donny van de Beek could look at his options in Europe. I think he would do good in Europe again. And Maguire, look, Maguire will do good anywhere. I actually, on a logical sense, I think Maguire would do well in Italy. I see him. I can see Maguire playing in Italy. There's a couple of teams in Italy that would suit him, but I think there's Spurs, there's West Ham, there's Chelsea. I think the England kind of quote England tax on him weighs heavy. I think that would be the main thing. That would be the selling point for Harry Maguire. And in a back five, he's not bad. He is not bad. How he takes his career and the level he wants to go, it's down to him. The club and the heights that he wants to reach, it's down to him. So he'll have to decide on the club. But I think Manchester United just needs to press the eject button when it comes to Harry Maguire. It's just plain and simple that he must be sold. Big up Slow Sports News as well. Thank you for your contribution. Says, yo, Faz, hope you're good, bro. I'm well, thank you. Hope you're well as well. Says, I hope Donny van de Beek gets some game time, as I felt bad for him when he first joined and getting little to no games. Look, I can understand the sentiment around Donny van de Beek, but in all honesty, even when Ten Hag came, he didn't get much minutes, right? He didn't. So it's one of those situations. Big up to Space Kid as well in the chat and everybody else. But Donny van de Beek didn't really look. Ten Hag said, I remember Ten Hag said after a game in a post-match interview, he said, look, you have to compete. I want players to compete for their position. And if you show me, once I give you the opportunity that you can grasp it with both hands, you'll get your minutes. You will get your opportunity. Garnacho is the absolute prime example. Came in, absolutely shined, got his minutes, started off from the bench, eased into the first team, got the odd 90-minute, and then even in big games, Ten Hag is bringing him on to have that impact. Bissaka as well, another prime example. First half of the season, nowhere near to be seen. But then second half of the season, boom, Dalot hasn't been performing, and in comes Wan Bissaka straight away. So yeah, it's one of those things. You have to be competing, and you have to be showing that you can fight for your position. Player of the month: Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Wan Bissaka. Comment down below quickly. Who would be your player of the month? Player of the month for me, I think it's a hard one between Bissaka and Bruno. I'll be honest. Casemiro is an interesting shout as well. A really good shout, but I think Bissaka has done so well since he's come back. Bissaka, man, look, again, Ten Hag was looking at a right back, even during the season. Loads of different links with right backs, this, that, the other. At the start of when Ten Hag's first day in Old Trafford in Carrington, right back, Timber, or a right-sided centre-back, whatever way you want to look at it. But Bissaka has come back and shown, you know what, Gaffer, it's okay. I'm here. Spider-Man is back. And that's what's happened. Bruno, all season, absolute grafter, running stats through the roof, does so well for the team, a leader, absolutely fantastic. I think Bruno Fernandes rightly gets all of the praise that he deserves. He wants to win trophies. He lifts up the players. People complain about him moaning and etc. But I absolutely don't pay no mind on that side. But I think for me, Aaron Wan-Bissaka would be the player. He deserves a little bit of praise. Come on, let's be honest. Bissaka does deserve praise. To make the manager think that you don't need a right back, it's a great thing. Let alone be performing. Your position is the position that manager wanted first. The manager wanted to bring in a player in your position the day he came in, and you saw that and you said, you know what? No, I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to work hard and I'm going to show to the gaffer that he doesn't need a replacement, and I'm going to play to the best of my ability and more and improve. And you know what? Bissaka has done that against Man City at home, dropping shoulders on players. He's starting to carry the ball well, progress the ball forward. I would like him to get more better at his crossing. He's starting to cross a little bit here and there, but I do want his attacking side of his game to become a bit better, a bit sharper. But it's, I think Bissaka deserves the praise. He really does. Bruno gets praise all the time, and rightly so. Absolutely, rightly so. But I think Bissaka for me, player of the month, that would be it. A lot of people agree with me. A couple of people want to mention Lindelof. I've seen Lindelof. A couple of people mentioned Bruno, the captain. But I think a lot of people agree with Wan-Bissaka as the shout. Casemiro, I see in there as well. Someone said Weghorst. I don't know. You must be trolling. Quick one. Dortmund are interested in Hannibal. Should Jude Bellingham leave for Real Madrid? Should we be looking at letting Hannibal go to Dortmund? Borussia Dortmund, Hannibal. I'll be honest. I always look. I watch the under 23s, the under 21s very regularly. I go to their games very, very regularly, almost all the time, right? But I'll tell you one thing: it is important to be able to make some money from academy players. It is. You have to have a conveyor belt of talent coming through. There's Kobe Mayo in there. There's Hansen in there. There's Ahmad. There's Alvaro Fernandez. There's Ethan Laird. There's Hugo. There's Emran. There's some good talent, right, in our academy. But are they ready for that first team jump? A lot of them, I'll be honest, no. Garnacho has been given the opportunity and he's taken it absolutely amazingly. He's taken it like a champ and he's shown what he can do. Can every academy player do that? No. It's an interesting one with Hannibal. I don't know. I think for me, it would be okay if we let Hannibal go. It would be. And a buyback clause. I see someone say buyback clause. Someone says loan Zidane as well. Sorry, that's another one. Zidane Iqbal is another one. I think it has to be. Look, these academy players nowadays, right? They want to play first team as quickly as possible, right? That's the any academy player's dream. At this level, you want to be playing the first team football as quickly as possible. So I think yeah, I think it's one of those things. I won't be upset if Hannibal left, but then it's one of those things. You let him go, he goes to another club, and he becomes this fantastic player because he's given the opportunity, he's given the minutes, and then you think, oh my god, could have kept him, could have developed him. And another thing as well, it's to consider, right? And I want to consider this is look, Ten Hag is a fantastic developer of talent. He's done that in Ajax. He's done that in his previous CV. You can see in his CV, he's done that at Bayern as well. So why can he not do that with Man United, right? He's taken over the under 21s. He's he's put Van der Gaag, who I've seen Van der Gaag in Lee Sports Village when I go to watch the under 21 games. And I see Ten Hag keeping a close eye. And obviously Ten Hag is keeping a close eye because he's given Kubimayo a couple of minutes here and there. And he's given Zidane a couple of minutes here and there. He's given Garnacho ample amount of minutes, eased him into the first team, given him a first team contract. I wouldn't also be unhappy if he stayed. Let's get developing. Let's make some homegrown talent. Let's really try and develop some talent for the future. Why not? Quick one. United Stand have just tweeted, the feeling amongst all parties is that best solution is to let Harry Maguire leave Manchester United this summer. A meeting will be scheduled with Eric Ten Hag soon enough. So soon enough, there'll be a shout about Harry Maguire. And I think yeah, it's time to let Harry Maguire go. It's as simple as that. It really is. But yeah, just on the academy side, I would like Eric Ten Hag to develop some players. I would like Eric Ten Hag to work with them a bit more. It's been his first season, so a couple of the players he's seen, Kobe Mayo, for example, who won the Jimmy Murphy Award, he's been training in and around the first team. So yeah, I think he could do a bit more. Maybe keep them for a little bit longer and see what he can do. But listen, the show absolutely flew by. We're touching just nearly an hour. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining and staying tuned with me for the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as well. Thank you very much for all the contributions and all the super chats. I hope I haven't missed out any. But yeah, I'll be live again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Again, Mark is doing the show in Dublin, the live show in Dublin. Make sure, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to this channel. Leave a like on the video as well. And after the video is live and up on YouTube, make sure you comment down below. What did you think of the show as well? I would love that. I'd love some feedback. So thank you very much. I appreciate you all. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good evening, everyone, and take care. Peace.